that I forgot to record. So in another in on our platform, there's another program has been sitting on our platform for a period of time. It's called the restoration. If you look at your website under business service, it's there. But we have not been promoting this product for a reason. It's just because it's a very complicated product. It's not easy. One thing about me is that I do not want to promote anything until I fully understand what we are trying to do. So ever since the first time I heard something like this, I knew this is something that has to be onto our platform. No doubt about this. Okay. It has to be on this platform. So ever since day one, I have been talking to Justin, who is the product service provider, which I'm going to invite him to the platform tonight. Ever since day one, we work very closely with Justin and his team to try to understand how these things work. But long story short, my philosophy is this, that if you never been through this, there's no way for you to promote product like this in sophistication of this type of product. So I think one thing that I believe in is that when you believe in something so strongly, somewhat somehow things will happen, push you toward that direction. So I remember the first time that I met Justin was about 2 years ago. That was the first time that we start talking about this particular program. I believe in it, but I don't believe in it, if you understand what I'm talking about. I knew things like this exist, but I do not believe can Justin really deliver. Is this thing really that good? Is it too good to be true? So, however, I believe in so strongly. Life have a ways to make me believe in things. So, what happened to me? Let me show you. Last year, August of 2025, my own house, the basement of my water heater, all of a sudden, out of the blue, got busted. The whole basement got flooded. And this is my house. This is actual basement pictures on the day that the property was flooded. So I walked down the basement. I looked at it was a mess inside of it. The whole basement is all flooded. So what do I do? Let me show you some more pictures, right? So this is my pictures, and I call in the guys to come in here to dry it out, cut out the carpet, cut out the carpet and blow dry, so on and so forth. So just like any homeowner would do. And then the next thing that any homeowner would do is what? Naturally, I call my insurance company. My insurance company is State Farm. So basically, I told State Farm, I say, hey, listen, this is what happened to my property and got damaged. So State Farm saying that yes, fine, take some pictures. We're going to send somebody out there to look at what the property is and see what we can do. So that's exactly what I did. I recorded, what I have done, all the costs, all the bills that I paid for drying the floor, cut out the carpet, so on and so forth. I put in all the receipts and took some pictures and sent it to State Farm. And guess what? State Farm acts very, very quickly. It happened in the middle of August. And then in September, they came in a letter saying that Mr. Wu, we acknowledge that this is something that is claimable, and we agree to pay you $3,647.13. And that is the actual check that they sent it to me. So let me ask you this as a homeowner. When you receive that check, most likely what would you do? I would think most of us would say, okay, fine, this is a settlement. Thank you so much. I got the money. I move on. But when I look at this check, it's not excited to me because my water heater itself cost me $2,000. Cost me $2,000 to replace a water heater, and that's including labor and parts. It's just $2,000. And the $1,600 left, I don't know what to do with it. I cannot replace the carpet. I cannot replace a lot of different things. So guess what? Now all of a sudden, I remember, yes, on our platform, there's something called property restoration. Why don't I call up Justin and see what he can do for me? So, long story short, I call up Justin. And ever since then, he walked me through. Now, I'm not an expert, but after this, I totally believe things like this exist. I totally believe that you have to work with somebody that know what they're talking about. And I bet you there are so many firms out there that saying that they can do this, they can do that. One thing about me is that once I stuck with somebody, once I know these people can deliver, once I've been through the changes with this person, I'm not going to go away. So we've been through a lot of changes together. He showed me exactly what to do, how to file, what kind of pictures I need to provide. Basically, he guided me through step by step by step by step by step through the whole process. That is from September. When I received my first paycheck, I call up Justin. That's from September of 2026. In January of September of 2025. In January of 2026, last month, I received another paycheck from State Farm. And let me show you what that paycheck is. You guys ready? You want to see it?
Of course.
Close.
I got a check for $26,607.57. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Can you believe it? This is an actual check issued by State Farm. No kidding. State Farm Fire and Casualty Company, January 19th, 2026, issued to Alan Wu. Of course, it has a claim number. I blocked it, so on and so forth. So I was surprised, and I'm not surprised. When I say I'm surprised, why? Is because when I called up Justin told me that the first thing that Justin asked me, Alan, how much you're getting? I told him, hey, I got a check for $3,600. And he told me, Alan, most likely I can get back you approximately 10 to 15 times than what you are getting. I say, holy smoke, I don't believe that. 10 to 15 times. He said, Alan, just let me do my magic. So he put in a claim to State Farm for $50,000. But he also came to me saying that, hey, the claim is $50,000, but most likely we are not going to get $50,000. Most likely you are going to get approximately 60 to 65% of what we put in. So you do the math. 50%, $50,000, 60% of it, it's approximately $30,000. So am I getting $30,000 back? He is absolutely right. So that made me think. So for any one of us, like a homeowner, just like ourselves, when we go out there to claim, whether it's insurance or car insurance, or whatever that might be, I know for sure all these insurance company out there will do whatever it takes to minimize our claim. So, and I bet a lot of people, when they get the $3,600 and that's the end of it, they will never go back. But now, lucky me, life just has its own way to make me to believe in something by causing my own house to get into flood so that I can experience what this process is all about. So now I'm very happy. I got that $26,000 check. It's deposited already. I see that in my account. My wife cannot believe it, but it is in there. So what does it mean?
Question.
Wait, let me finish it. So I'm going to get Justin to talk to you. I know I'm most likely I might not be able to answer your question, but Justin's here. But what I'm saying is that it is the same exact accident or case or damage, whatever that might be. No more, no less. I did it myself. I got back $3,600. But I have Justin to come in here to did the work for me, and his team. I saw the report because when they send me that $26,000 check, they also send me the report that Justin submitted to them. It is at least a 50-page report that they detail every single thing, how much this thing costs, how much that thing costs. Again, I don't want to pretend I'm an expert. I will have Justin to talk about this. So what I'm seeing is that, hey, I've been through it now, and I know it works. It happened to me, so it happened to a lot of people out there. Now, this is just residential properties. Ever since we started this, okay, ever since we started this, there's only one person in the company that I spoke to. about this particular program. Because again, probably for those of you who know me, I would not like to just go out there and tell everybody about everything until we experience it. But at the beginning of it, I was very busy. I only told one person. Her name is Jennifer. She's up in New York. I told Jennifer, we have a program like this. Would you be interested to help to try that out together with me? And Jennifer, no doubt whatsoever. The first thing she said, yes, Alan, let's do this. So Jennifer herself submitted over 20 deals so far. Okay. But again, what I'm trying to say is there are so many clients that run into something like this. They have no idea what to do. They have no idea where to go. I'm not just talking about residential. My property is residential, but Jennifer submitted hotels, retails, shopping centers, mansions, you name it. And guess what? I bet you there's a lot of your clients are facing the similar situation. So without further ado, I would like to bring up Mr. Justin onto the platform, and he can share with us what kind of magic he's doing in the back office to help client like myself and you or your clients to achieve something like this. It's unheard of. I've never heard of something like this until today. Until a few years ago, until today, I experienced myself. So, Justin, are you online?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. The floor is yours.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate it, Alan. Thank you very much. And hey, everybody. I hope you're having a good day. But yeah, just to give you a little background, again, my name is Justin, and I'm the owner of Nexus Claim, and I do also have roofing companies across the states that we're servicing existing businesses now. We do have a strategic partnership in almost 40, or not almost, in 47 states. So, we do have the ability to, touch, everywhere basically in the lower 48 and make sure that we can service and help you guys out through the process. I'll share on my end, a brief step-by-step walkthrough of what we can do to help. And then, of course, I'll open it up for a Q&A to answer any questions that you guys may have. However, a little bit of background about me. Not only have I been running roofing companies, the Nexus Claim is actually a loss consulting company. It's not a public adjusting company. It's not a law firm, and that entity itself is not a construction company. We are simply just the loss consultants that generate the documents necessary to negotiate with the insurance company. We do have an all-in service from A to Z, from the very beginning of the claims process all the way until everything is fully closed out on the back end to make sure that every single step of the way is handled within our company and our strategic partnerships. We do work with law firms for denied claims. In Alan's case, it was an open coverage claim where they just simply underpaid. But we can even assist in claims that have been just flat out denied, where we'll bring an attorney in. That process does take a little bit longer, but ultimately the same results are achieved, at 60 to 65 cents on the dollar of whatever we're able to generate. But how we got into this industry is we actually started as contractors for the insurance companies. So we have managed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of projects with the insurance companies. After a claim, they would send us out as the preferred contractor to investigate the damages, document those damages, report it back to the insurance company, and ultimately then do the work if the property owner did not already have a contractor that they were going to use. So we learned every single insurance company's operating procedures, their guidelines, what they do, what they don't. And ultimately we've seen time and time again, it's very common on 95% of the claims they're going to underpay. So, that's where we step in. We like to say we went over from the dark side to the light side and helping out the property owners instead of helping to prevent or try to get through with as little as possible. And we've really built a strong network on residential and commercial properties. But I'll walk you a little bit about through the process. I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can see. and go through, A to Z what it does look like. But again, Nexus Claim is a loss consulting company. We do have direct relationships with roofing contractors, mitigation companies, general contractors, remediation companies, mold assessing companies. We've got public adjusters that we've used from time to time. However, primarily, we prefer to use attorneys instead of public adjusters if it's necessary. And the reason we say that is if it is a serious underpayment or a denial and there's disputes, the attorneys will come in on a contingency to, help hold them accountable. And we like to say they have some teeth, whereas public adjusters do not. And everything that we do is on a contingency basis, and it's pretty straightforward. What we do is, the first thing that does come about is we're going to always provide a policy review. So when you guys submit a property that you might think would be a good fit for this, whether they already have a claim open or they don't have a claim open and they just have damages, we're always going to have someone take a look. An attorney will take a look at the policy. They're going to comb through it for any types of exclusions. They're going to go through, make sure that, if there are damages, that you guys do have coverages for it or not before any claim is opened, so that this way the property owner, is fully educated beforehand. Reviewing that insurance policy for that property is absolutely free. There's no cost whatsoever associated to that. It's just as simple as turning that in. Once we do verify that there are coverages for it, or even if they're not, we get straight into the next step, which is a free inspection. So, for your property owners, whether they have damages and they want to see if, what all of their options are so they can make an educated decision, or if they don't have damages and they need something on record that will, provide a detailed report for them and their insurance company to potentially save money on their property insurance premium, because that's been a huge pain point for a lot of people. Insurance companies continue raising their rates. So, anyone that's submitted through Sequoia's platform, we are going to offer an absolutely free, no strings attached inspection of that property. We will send out a field technician who will take a look at the roofing portions of the claims. If there's any interior water stains or leaking, we'll take a look at all of the interior. They do have thermal imaging cameras to see if there's anything behind the walls and everything that's needed from there. We will take a look at all the exterior trades as well, such as siding, windows, doors, and anything on the outside of the property. So it is a full top to bottom inspection that again is absolutely free. There's no risk, no obligation for us to come out and take a look, no matter where they're at in the country. And once we do take a look at it, every inspection, once that's finished, we will provide a full inspection report. That report will usually be anywhere from 5 to 10 pages. If we do notice that there are damages for the property, whether it's the roofing, the exterior, the interior, we're going to put what those damages are, what we believe caused those damages, and everything packaged up in an inspection report for you and that property owner. Now, if there are damages, we're going to go over all the different options that they have available, again, at absolutely no cost, no obligation, no risk. But we give them all the information so that they can make an educated decision, and review, what kind of damages are to the property. If we do an inspection and we do not identify any types of damages, the benefit by still getting these inspections done is two different things. One, if there's no damages, we will still put that in an inspection report, certified by a GC. And the benefit to the property owner of that is if they turn that into their insurance company, that absolutely free report, and they send it over, it shows the insurance company that the property is in good condition and certified by a licensed contractor. Usually they're able to save money on their insurance premium for that year because they're considered a lower risk than what the insurance company will initially do. And the second benefit of it is if something does happen, we've had a lot of crazy storms going on right now lately, whether it's freeze, whether it's rain, whether it's hail, whether it's wind. If we document that there was no damages, in the event something does happen in the future, there's a timeline and a paper trail supporting that, the property was in good condition as of this day. So if something does happen to it in the future, it's very easy to provide that evidence to the insurance company, and avoid a lot of the back and forth and, fights that they're going to do. So again, that inspection, when you submit it through Sequoia, is absolutely no cost, no risk, no obligation, no signature needed for that inspection to take place. And again, if they have damages, we'll go over all of their options at no risk. If they don't have damages, again, they can use those reports to their benefit. After we do an inspection, part of the report that we provide to the property owner, whether it's residential or commercial, we will provide a preliminary estimate. That preliminary estimate will give the property owner a line by line breakdown of if there is a valid insurance claim there, what they could potentially recover, whether they use us or one of our contractors, or they just collect the money and hire their own. That's completely up to them. We will provide an estimate and pricing so that they're aware of that. And then, of course, like I said, we initially review the policy. And again, if there's no damages, that will be on the inspection report so that they are aware. But that estimate, again, comes at no cost to the property owner. There's no obligation. They're not required to sign up services with us, after that initial inspection and estimates provided. Another part of the process in that inspection report that we do provide is we use meteorologists, we pay for weather reports, we do weather mapping. There are many different sources that we use to even figure out if there is a weather event that would qualify to cover those damages by the insurance policy. So it's really all inclusive on that inspection report. You're going to get a review of the policy to see if there's coverage or any crazy exclusions. You're going to get a detailed line item breakdown of what those costs would be if they choose to claim it, and a weather event that ties, to that policy, which are all things the insurance companies need for them to make a decision or provide coverage. So all of those will be included in that free report. Now, after that, once we review everything with us, our company does work on a contingency basis, meaning if there is no recovery, there's no fee. There's no out-of-pocket cost that they would be required to pay. There's no upfront money that needs to change hands for us to get the party started and start negotiating directly with the insurance company on your behalf. And we will work directly with the carrier, handling the communications, coordinating inspections, providing the reports and documentation needed. And then when they do eventually underpay, providing supporting evidence of why they underpaid and what it's going to take to restore that property to its actual pre-loss condition, making sure that everything is maximized. So, like I said, we do work on a contingency. There's no risk. One of the big questions people have is if we do open a claim, which, we're going to vet it prior to getting that claim open. A lot of people have this false idea that, if a claim is open, the insurance companies are going to raise your rates or they're going to drop you. I can tell you because we do, and there's two types of claims. I'll take a step back. There's what's considered an act of God claim, which is a weather event, a hurricane, a hailstorm, a wind event, a freeze. And then there's what would be considered a at fault claim. An at fault claim is you flooded the house because you left the bathtub running. So there's a big difference when claims are being filed of those two. At fault claims, at times they can penalize you, they can raise your rates. If it's not a sudden burst or pipe burst or a water heater that broke, that's considered again an act of God claim. If it's an at fault claim, technically they can, raise your rates, consider you a higher risk, but every single 100% of the claims that we work on are considered and classified as act of God claims. And it is actually illegal for the insurance companies to raise your rates, to drop you, or to penalize you for something that wasn't your fault. So, I do want to be clear, a lot of people are scared to even open a claim with the insurance company for that reason. And we have, proof to provide you that that is not the case. Now, some people will see their rates go up. Obviously, insurance like to raise their rates every single year anyways. And if there is an area that has suffered from a lot of storms, if people see their premium increasing 30, 40% and they've never opened a claim, the reason usually is because what ends up happening is if there was a qualifying storm in that area and a lot of claims were filed, the insurance company can't penalize those customers individually for opening the claims and getting paid. But what we've seen them do, their little loophole to get away with that is they can deem, if they've got enough claims that they've paid out in an area, they'll deem that area a high risk area and they can raise the entire zip codes rate. So if you have customers or property owners where you're seeing pretty significant increases from year to year, that's a telltale sign that, there was a qualifying event and they are paying claims in your area and they've deemed that area high risk. It has nothing to do with you individually, but we always like to say if they're going to be increasing your rates pretty significantly, it's always better to be on the paying side of the claim than paying the premium. So we'll always take a look at all that for you. And again, there's no upfront charges. Our company is going to charge anywhere from 20 to 25% once the money has been recovered. And how that works is, again, we don't charge anything until you have received the payment. So, there's no upfront cost that would be required. Depending on the project size, we can reduce the 25% traditionally down to about 20%. That is on a case by case basis. But again, no out of pockets. All of the hard costs for the inspections, the reports, and all of that is built into our fee. So there's no additional charges outside of that. Again, a straight contingency. Now, with that again, if you guys, some clients want to just maximize their recovery, collect the money, and then go ahead and use their own contractors, which is completely fine. Some people don't have contractors and they actually want the work to be performed. Whether it's the first route or the second route, we can facilitate both. And if the work is being performed through one of our contractors, then that 25% will go away and the commission is taken from the money that's generated to do that work so that you guys know. So if you choose to use one of our contractors, you're not paying in a 25% on top of the work performed. We would just have the contractor take whatever money is approved and we will do the scope of work for not one penny more than what it is issued so that you guys are aware. And other than that, the process is simple. Again, it does not hurt for you guys to have those free complimentary inspections performed. It's always best to make sure you and your clients have all of the information that they need to make an educated decision. There's no high pressure sales tactics. We strictly do business when we know we can provide value and we provide those reports over to your customers so that they can see everything, feel everything, touch everything, and then make that educated decision. So, the services on the platform of Sequoia in the business services section. Jennifer is going to be the main point of contact for Sequoia for, any types of properties that you have. And again, to get started by submitting it through the Sequoia platform is very simple. And again, that complimentary inspection is at no risk or obligation. And at least we can take a look because a lot of times property owners are unaware of, what options they do have available. So, we do pride ourselves in making sure to give them all the tools on their tool belt so that they can move forward with whatever's best for their situation. Other than that, that's my spiel. Of course, I'm going to open it up for a Q&A, answer any questions that you guys do have. What I will say, if it's property specific, if you don't mind, send the claim over so we can take a look at it, and then we can have more of an educated conversation. But any type of big picture overview questions, I'm happy to answer at this time.
If you don't mind, Justin, let me finish up the presentation.
Oh,
So
yes, I'm sorry.
okay. So again,
Absolutely.
well, thank you, Justin, for sharing with us a lot of detail about what he's actually doing with his team. So here at this point, what I would like to do is to share what we are going to do from this point on. Okay. So here I would like to introduce Miss Jennifer Chen. when I started the Sequoia, there are a few people with me at the very beginning, and Jennifer is actually one of them. I still believe that we've been through a lot of changes. We've been through a lot of hustling. One thing about her is that I really appreciate what she has been doing to us, is that she never have any doubt in what Sequoia is trying to do. Always give me that support. And every time when I have an idea, when I talk to her, she doesn't just blindly support me. She will give me her thought. She will give me her opinion. And then we figured out a ways to move things forward. So when I talked to her about this particular program, she loved it. And the first things that she told me that, Alan, this is a huge, huge potential. We have to get through the ups and downs. She told me that there's a lot of learning curve for something like this. It's not easy to get to the other side of the tunnel. So I am willing to go through this changes together with you. So ever since then, I asked Jennifer, I said, yeah, absolutely. And I have many things that I need to take care of. I cannot be fully dedicated for this particular program. So I asked Jennifer, so ever since day one, to help us to go through the process. So long story short, she did. She came in. She started submitting deals. I believe that since day one up to today, she submitted over 20, 25 deals in the pipeline already. She actually been through many, many ups and downs together with Justin's. So she is actually right now the director of claim for Sequoia. So from this point on, all the claims that come to Sequoia, she is the ones that going to help us to monitoring, doing the QA, doing the qualify. She will be working with Justin directly with her team, just because the two of them already been through a lot of things together. They know how each other works. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Jennifer. Come on and just say hi to everybody. Jennifer is from New York. Jennifer.
Hi, how are you? Yeah, my name is Jennifer Chen. I'm usually was is a agent insurance agent, so I work with Alan for a few years ago. But I also thanks Jason you know the Alan is from Jason. He introduced me. So yeah, Alan told me about this program. I said, okay, let me try. I didn't know how that works, so that I tried like a few months, and then really, I really have some, over almost 30 families, introduce this program to help them have some benefits. And I'm very happy to, I'm very valued to them. So yeah, that is my experience about this program. Thank you, Alan.
Sure. Again, many of you will be start working with Jennifer very very closely once this thing started. Okay. So let me continue on with the rest of us the presentation. Now, obviously, a lot of you going to ask, how much are you going to get? So remember, Justin saying that the fee is somewhere between 20 to 25%. Okay. So that 25% that he's charging, including our fee. So how much are you getting when you submit a deal? Ladies and gentlemen, you are getting 8% of whatever the claim amount is. 8%. Now, if we are doing a loan, how much are we charging for loans? I would say somewhere between 1 to 3%. If you're getting to millions of dollars, the maximum that we can charge is about 1 point. We cannot charge more than a point and a half, 2 point. Don't even think about this. But now for this particular one, we are getting 8%, ladies and gentlemen. And we also pay six different levels, just like anything else. The first level, we're paying you 1%. Second level, 3/4 of points. Third level and fourth level will pay half points. Fourth level, a fifth level and sixth level, we are paying a quarter points. That is a lot of money. Now, what does it mean by a lot of money? Let me just show you what Jennifer, I hope that she doesn't mind, how much she's actually getting. So this is just some of the file. This is just some of the file that she submitted in. I picked the first top 20 that is about to get funded. So the total dollar amount is about $3.1 million. Now, if you submit a loan for $3.1 million, dollars, normally in Sequoia, we charge 1 point. So that is approximately $31,000. And out of that $31,000, you will get your shares. So approximately 50% of it. So you are getting approximately $15,000 for a $3 million loan. But guess what? If we are doing the restoration claim, what Jennifer is expecting to make is approximately $254,000 and $740,000. $254,000. So what does it mean? It means that if Jennifer today stopped doing anything, and Justin, I'm sure that he will fund all this deal for Jennifer, she will be making $254,000, $254,740 this year. Now, the rest, obviously, Jennifer has, she mentioned about Jason He, right? Jason is his sponsor. So Jason is going to get 1 point out of it. So how much Jason is getting? Jason is getting $30,000. This is crazy. Not doing anything. $30,000. So again, the total revenue share that we are paying out, it's $127,000 just based on these numbers. Now, let me show you what happened. Ever since this thing, we decided to open up this this program, and we have people already submitted the deal. Are you guys able to see my Titan file? Is that the Titan screen that you're seeing? Since this weekend, we already have 21 new files submitted in through Nexus. All claim. 21 files. All these 21 files add together. Justin, I mean, you saw it. Give us an approximate. All these 21 files, what are we talking about in terms of a claim wise?
Yeah,
Approximately.
since these 21 are commercial claims,
They're all
and
commercial.
policies are everything is going through. I
Yep.
mean, we're looking at, upwards of eight figures in claim value
Eight figure
and
means 10
recovery.
million.
And that's just off those, and there's very large commercials. Some of those policies alone had 15 million, 20 million. So there is a significant amount of money that's being pushed just on those commercial claims alone.
Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to see the power of what Sequoia platform can offer. I bet every single one of us right here in this room, you own real estate yourself. You own a residential property. If anything that happened to your property, feel free, submit it in. Let Justin's team to take care of it. I bet you know a lot of property owners, and a lot of their property got damaged by whatever the reason might be. Could be wind, could be fire, could be water damage, could be anything. I bet a lot of you know people that has damaged properties that they do not know how to claim, including myself. So it's perfect time for us to go out there to talk to all these people. Who are they? Real estate agents, loan officers, insurance agents, CPAs, doctors, title companies, you name it. Let them know that, hey, on our Sequoia platform, we can do something like this. We can offer your client a, a service that you might not even heard of. So this is a new product and service that we are going to put on, not going to, it's already on our platform. So today is what we call the launching day for Nexus Claim. Now, don't have a wrong impression. This is not fast money. If you want fast money, go do the wellness program, and which is also another program that we promote heavily. And quite frankly, Justin is also coming in with the wellness program. Also, he worked with a lot of lawyers, right? I mean, again, a lot of those lawyers that needs this type of the wellness program. But this is big money, but it's well worth the time. Let me share with you one more time. If you were me, would you take this? The first check that I get is $3,640. That is back in September. But then 6 months later, well, September, about 5 months later, then I got another check for $26,000. Is it worth the time to wait? Absolutely. Now, did I do anything? No, I did not do anything. I just took a few pictures. Now, this is my own house, and Justin's team got took care of everything with his power. So this is not anything fast money. So do not expect anything fast. But however, I can guarantee you it's well worth it the time for you to just submit it in, Let Justin's team to take care of the rest. We sit back, relax, and help him out, and we collect the fund. So at the beginning of the year, I told Justin, I say, Justin, my goal personally, okay. Remember, Justin, I told Justin, I say, hey, Justin, my goal is just to make $100,000 from this platform, just just myself, and I'll be happy about this. But he's saying that Alan, you haven't seen the power. You will see, you will make a lot more money once you really, really engage. And now I can see. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is something that I'm very excited about. It's not just I want to promote this thing to you. I One thing that I learned from the Navy, they told us one thing: as an officer, you have to experience first before you tell your troops to do the task. So before I tell you guys to promote this thing, I use my own house to vet this system. I have no doubt about Justin's capability. I have no doubt about Jennifer's capability. I have no doubt about this industry. I have no doubt about their team and what they can do and their integrity. And quite frankly, throughout the time, there's a lot of things, a lot of people try to talk me out of it. But I have my own sense. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you can see. I hope that you can see my excitement. I hope that you can see there's a huge opportunity right here in the Sequoia platform that you can go out and utilize this to open up more doors for yourself. I don't care what, it doesn't matter what you do. You are probably you're doing mortgages, probably you're doing insurance, probably you're doing real estate. It does not matter what it is. This program right here can actually help you to open up a lot of doors, to actually can help your business, whatever you are doing. So that's all I have to say. And let's open up the floodgate. Let's open up the Q&A. I'm sure that a lot of you have questions. So go ahead, ladies and gentlemen, unmute yourself and start asking questions.
I got a question for you.
Sure.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can.
Hi. Hey, thank you very much for coming and giving us information. And again, thank you, Alan, for putting this together for all of us. Really appreciate it. When you're talking about getting a claim paid to the customer, whatever the amount is, let's just say $25,000, and they are receiving that money, does that money goes directly to the customer, and then we will charge the customer? I mean, you guys will do it at the time, and then we'll receive our cut. Is that how it normally will work, or you will ACH directly the account?
Yes.
the
So the
payout?
insurance company will issue the payment directly to the property owner, and our invoice, once they've been paid, will go to that property owner. Correct.
Yep.
So
I can emphasize that yes, I did receive my check. The check did not go to Justin. State Farm sent me the check directly.
so it, just to clarify real quick, is when they receive the money, you guys will send the invoice, or you guys will automatically ACH the money out of the account?
So yes, the invoice, once the property owner deposits the money, the invoice goes to the property owner. They will make the payment to the company, and immediately within 3 business days, that money is wired to Sequoia for
So I'm assuming that before that, you guys will have them sign an
agreement.
agreement involved.
Correct. Yeah, there is an agreement that the property owners will sign, that goes over the commission break, so that everyone's on the same page of what will be collected once that money does come in. So yes, there are agreements in place that they will sign after the inspection's been complete.
Okay. One more question in reference to covering territory. I am in Virginia, and we have DC, Maryland, Virginia, and I'm assuming we can do this throughout the entire 50 states, residential and commercial. So the question that I have is, what if we're promoting this on the web, and then somebody comes in there and say, hey, we would like to do it in I don't know, let's say California. You have personnel that can cover the territory, or you just have, like, I don't know, I guess third party? I mean, that's your business, but do you have somebody that can go and do the inspection, take pictures, and do all that? Because what you guys are doing is, people don't realize that the amount of work that goes into creating these reports. I mean, I can tell you that I have absolutely full experience in filing a report with the insurance company based on, the pictures that Alan showed them. Basically, it happened to me, 3 times, and it was not something that I created. It was part of what the house, I own our property. So And and that's the reason I'm asking. Uh, and what's the turnaround when somebody says yes? Come and take a look and give me an estimate. How soon can
Absolutely.
we get somebody out there?
Yep. So to answer your question, we have in-house field technicians in Florida, Texas, Arizona, Colorado, Georgia, California, and we have third parties for Maryland, Virginia, DC, all of that. We've got strategic partnerships through the GAF Master Program, where we do have contractors in all of these states that have already onboarded into our program. And our turnaround time in the in-house states is typically less than 24 hours. For anywhere outside of those, our typical turnaround time is going to be about 3 business days to be able to get there. And to answer the second part of your question, or I'm sorry, the turnaround time was the second part. So yes, we can handle all of the areas that you've named, and all of the inspections can be done anywhere between 1 to 3 business days.
Great, thank you.
Mhm. And I
Any
did see
other?
something in the chat. Can you do mobile homes? Yes, we can. Mobile homes usually have a cap of about 30,000, but absolutely, yes. Whether it's a mobile home, whether it's a primary residence, whether it's a rental property, multifamily units, hotels, shopping plazas, restaurants. I mean, we've literally have clients in all of those facets. So, from your detached garages all the way to huge, warehouses and facilities. We've been able to service them all. And yes, we do pipe bursts for any type of plumbing related issues. We do fire. We do wind storms where there was significant winds. All of that, whether it was fire, interior pipe burst similar to Allen's, water heaters, all of those things, we do have people to dispatch. And we do also have contractors that are willing to do the work if needed. For example, let's say a pipe burst. If you do need us to dispatch a contractor out, and typically when it comes to the actual labor, we can get someone out there within 24 hours. Many times we can do it same day, where we do have the contractors that will dry it out, put the machines in there, make sure everything is taken care of. And our invoices for the work that's performed goes straight to the insurance company. So the benefit of that is there's no down payment, there's no deposit for our contractors to get started on that work and take care or service your customers very quickly. And our contractors are willing to wait until the insurance company does make payment before they collect, which is huge because there's no credit checks, no date of birth, no loans, and again, no out of pocket or down payment that's required. And sorry, I'm trying to read some of these things going. Wisconsin in the house. Oh, sorry. Yes, it does also work, Elvis, for Airbnbs. We actually have many investor-owned properties that have Airbnbs. We're very familiar with working around dates that do not have bookings on that, so we can work around those schedules to make sure that we're not interfering with the existing business. But not only are Airbnbs covered and we're able to work with the property owner to replace the roof, to bring the property to its pre-loss condition, assign the contractors. But there's also parts of insurance coverages that the attorneys will look at, such as loss of use. So sometimes if there was damage and they couldn't book that Airbnb because there was issues, that's compensation that the attorneys will go after and take into consideration above and beyond the claim amount that they are able to get paid. And pipe bursts we can handle in the entire lower 48. So if it was a part of that recent, freeze and storms that have come through, we've got technicians and contractors out as we speak, addressing and handling all of those situations, which we did get a very serious influx of over 150 in one state. We actually probably had about 300 claims that have come in within the past 2 weeks from the recent freezes, and that's something we absolutely can handle. Houses in pre-foreclosure. Yes and no. So the reason I say yes and no is the insurance policy, similar to like a life insurance policy, if the policy was paid for, the insured will collect the money. So whether the house property is going into foreclosure, whether the property is sold from one person to another, like a life insurance policy, whoever is the policy holder will receive the compensation for that claim. The one thing you want to be careful about with foreclosed homes in that situation is many times we see that the mortgage company will is listed on those checks, and many times in foreclosed properties, there will be what's called a forced place policy, and in a forced place policy, technically the mortgage company would be the insured, meaning in many cases, the claim may be payable directly to the mortgage company. However, there's a few workarounds that we have on that to assist in trying to get the compensation. But what we would say is just submit that claim in, let our attorneys take a look at it, and we can go over the good, the bad, and the ugly to let them know what the potential outcomes could be so that they can make an educated decision.
I have a question.
Yep.
Is there a statute of limitations on how far back you can go to open up a claim?
Yes, many states have different statutes of limitations. Most states are going to be anywhere from 2 to 3 years from the date of loss. Some states are 1 year, like California, Florida, a few states like that. So, what I would say is, sometimes there were, pretty bad storms maybe 4 or 5 years ago that might be outside of the statute of limitations, but you would be very, very surprised of how many what we consider microburst wind events we're able to locate within the past 12 months at a property. So we do run a full weather report for the last, anywhere from 1 to 3 years, depending on the state. And we will have any time that there is a what we call a wind triggering event of over 50 miles per hour. That is a wind speed our engineers are comfortable signing off on. And usually there is a claim that we're able to find, if not the original date of damage, we're able to track down and see if there is a qualifying event within that statute of limitations.
I have another question.
Mhm.
Do you get involved while there's a claim going on? And the reason I say that is I have a property in Hartford, Connecticut. I am a tenant, and the building went on fire. So my landlord is in the process of putting this together. And you had mentioned something about loss of wages. So we're in the process of doing that. So as a tenant, do I have rights as well, being I have insurance? And obviously, do you get involved or could you get involved with the landlord?
Typically, the tenant is not going to be the policy holder. Now, typically there may be, tenant insurance or renter's insurance or a leased insurance that does have policies, and we are absolutely able to have the attorney review whatever policy the tenant does have to see what options are available before you make an educated decision. And absolutely, we can work with the property owner directly to do a full evaluation of where the claim is at in its current stage and give you a plan of action of what would happen if we were to come involved and basically pick up where it's been left off and show the value that what we see and what we think is available. I will say the carriers are going to underpay every single time. It's just, the nature of the beast. So, we are able to provide value to that property owner and giving them all of the information so that they can make an educated decision. And if and when the carrier underpays or flat out denies the insurance claim, we have a legal team that is willing to work on a contingency, no recovery, no fee, to file demands and even file lawsuits if needed to hold them accountable with our own engineering reports explaining why they're wrong, the supporting evidence to show why we're right, and demand they do the right thing. And if they don't, we have all of the resources necessary to take them to the house and achieve a settlement. And 99% of all claims will settle for many different reasons, and we can get into that on a sidebar conversation. But the bottom line being, it is more cost effective for them to settle than it is for them to fight it. And the reason being, just big picture, is if we were to sue them and it go to a jury decision, we don't have to prove that our estimates and reports are 100% accurate. We just have to prove that they were wrong by more than 20%. And in that case, not only would they be responsible for their attorney fees, our attorney fees, and the entire claim amount, and with treble damages that can go up to a three times multiple. So, that's why every single one of these, 99% of these will settle without going to any type of court trial. And we can lay all that out for the property owner before they commit to anything to see what those options are
Thank
after
you.
the evaluation. Absolutely.
So just there's a few more question. A tree is asking, can I file a claim? Just bought the house, and the previous damage was from a previous storm.
So it depends on the effective date of the policy. So if there was existing damage, let's say that was written into the inspection report, prior to purchasing the home, and it was sold to you as is, typically your insurance policy won't go into effect until a certain day. But what we can do is we can do an evaluation, even especially within the last month and a half. There's been so many storms across the United States, even if it's not a named hurricane or named freeze, there are qualifying events that we are able to identify. And, from when your policy was active, if we can find what we would consider a qualifying event, which our threshold is very low, we can go over those options. Now, of course, obviously there was damage prior to, but our position would be that yes, there was damage prior to, but this new event amplified any existing problems, and we are able to get traditionally roof replacements and more after that. So what I would say on that specific case, our attorneys will take a look at the effective dates. We'll take a look at the damages, and before any claim is opened or filed, we can review all of that information with you beforehand to let you know if there is something valid there or if there's not, and then we can wait for the next qualifying event and put you on a storm watch list.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, there are a few questions right here. So let me share with everybody how to apply for something like this. Okay, so as a Sequoia affiliate or an agent, every single one of us have our own website like this. So all you have to do just to go to solution and you see business service. You click on this. The first one is workers' comp, right? And the second one is the property restoration. All you have to do just to click on here and say apply and fill out some basic information. All we need is just the client's name and number, and this will lock this particular client with you so that you can get credit. And all you have to do just to do this thing and hit submit. And after this, the system is going to send you a secure portal for you to upload the documentations to our secure portal. Just looks like this one that I just share with you. Hold on, let me see where is it? Right here. So once you submit it in, it will go into our secure portal. Okay, so for example, like this one's right here, and this lady right here submitted the insurance policy. Okay, so once we submit insurance policy, Justin is here, the client is here, the agent is here, everybody's here. So we will communicate all the process through the security channel right here. Okay, now if you need marketing materials, Benny, you're asking for marketing materials. Pay attention to our email. We post marketing material on all of our social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, so on and so forth. And if you still need it, scroll all the way down to the bottom of the email. If you have any questions or whatsoever, always ask for support or marketing. Send an email to support and marketing, and they will get you what you need. Now, also, if you want to find out our training schedule, it's from career event calendar. It's always here. So all you have to do is just to click on this and you can come into trainings like this. Okay. Any other questions? Let me see. How do you find people, company who needs this service?
So what I would say to that, it's very simple. Is when it comes to this, everyone there's so much value in providing a free complimentary inspection, whether they have damage or they don't have damage. Like I said, if we find no damage, that report is usually valued around $1,000 that we're giving absolutely free. And that report can help them save money on their insurance premium. So, if whether they have damages that they know about and they want someone to take a look at it, or they have no damages at all and they're maybe looking to save a little bit of money on their insurance premium at no cost, really everyone could benefit from that.
And what I noticed that, correct me if I'm wrong, Justin, is that they can go back to what, 12 months. So for example, let's say, um, 2 week, oh, last week, there's a huge snowstorm or ice storm that came through the area from all the way from Texas and all the way up to New York and New Jersey. And I bet there's a lot of property got damaged, the water pipe busted, so on and so forth. So it's perfect timing for us to go back to all those homeowners, let them know that, hey, for the last week or so or last month or so, there was a huge snowstorm come through. Hey, submit your property. If there's anything that's damaged, we can take a look at it. So,
Mhm.
um, again, those are the ways that we can find our clients.
Right. I just have a question though for clarification. So when you say go back to those people, how do you suggest you reach out? Is this reaching out through Facebook? Is this reaching out because I'm no longer an active agent. I work with investors. Um, wholesaling deals to investors and things of that nature. So just curious as to, how I could put this out, how would you all suggest, or how have others put it out to like their network that, hey, you can submit these well, not claims, but you can, well, I guess you can say that you can submit claims through my company to get paid on, some things you may not have thought, known that you could get paid for. So would you do that through like Facebook, or is that one option, or what are some of the options to just get the word out?
Yeah, so many of our sales technicians, they market many different ways. We've got obviously certain contractors that will knock doors in those areas. We have people that will put out Facebook messages, saying, "Hey, if your property was damaged, we're absolutely providing complimentary inspections and a free report. No risk." I've seen people market through investors. That's a big thing for investors, for people that are looking to sell the home, or selling the home. People spend hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to get reports or four-point inspections and all of these different things. But especially for investors, it's a big deal to let them know, hey, you may not have damage. However, we can have a contractor, a licensed contractor, come out, no risk, no pressure, to do a full complimentary inspection. In the event you go to sell the property, you have a document trail of when things are good that are signed off by a certified contractor. And again, saving money on the premium. So, a lot of pain points that customers have are, raising insurance premiums, that they're paying each and every year. This is a way to help offset that. People that are looking to potentially sell their property in the next few years, this is a big thing for. So, but it's really limitless, how you can market and get the word out to people, whether they have damages, whether they don't have damages. But we've seen Facebook, we've seen Instagram, we've seen, physical referrals that have come from people that they know that have had damages. But all of those channels are have shown some type of success, through our companies.
Right.
I have another question.
Sure.
So in Alan's case, he got $26,000 additional. Is there an obligation for him to make these corrections in the home, or is it up to him to determine what's he going to do with that money?
It's completely up to him.
Yep.
So, what I will say is, if the insurance company, and I'll use a roof as an example, let's say we're able to get a small repair turned into a full roof replacement, and that money is issued to the property owner. Now, the insurance company will sometimes withhold a small portion, what they call depreciation, if it's not replaced. But in most cases, we're able to get a full and total settlement. I would say 85% of the time, where they don't hold money back. However, if, let's say, the insurance company paid for a full roof replacement, and instead of replacing the roof, maybe they went up and paid for a $1,500 repair to a certain section and kept the rest of the money. The only thing that, no, they don't have to do the work. It's their money they collect from the insurance policy, but it could affect any future claims. You couldn't claim that roof a second time if you didn't replace it. But other than that, the money is to do whatever the insured or property owner would like to do with those funds.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much. We 10 minutes past the hour already. Thank you so much for all the questions, and obviously, Justin, and come on the platform to share with us this fantastic service that you're providing, and definitely is a door opener for all of us. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is on our platform. Let's go out there and hit the market. One thing that I know is that it's going out there to look for a client. It's very difficult. But however, going out there to look for a business partner is a lot easier because many of these professionals, such as insurance agent, real estate agents, so on and so forth, they already have clients. Let them know that we can provide something like this. Go to a title company, go to a law firm, go to a CPA firm, go to a brokerage, real estate brokerage. Let them know that we provide this type of product and this type of service. And again, best yet, get them onto Sequoia. If they have clients that they don't want to give it to you, hey, bring them on board. They make the 8%. You sit back and relax and take the 1%. So it's here. Again, I experienced it myself. I pocketed $30,000 already. I'm happy about this. Now bet on it. Continue on to go out there to talk to more clients. And this what Sequoia platform is all about. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for another night that you participate in our training. My suggestion is that take this knowledge, go out there, and really, really make money utilizing this knowledge. Don't just come in here and listen and then just another night, right? So, from this point on, anything that you need, please feel free to call me or call Jennifer. Jennifer speaks English and Chinese if you need Chinese support. But again, if you need to, any questions or whatsoever, come to me. I do whatever I can to share with you my experience. But at the end of the day, this is not a difficult service. Don't make it too complicated. All you have to do just to tell your client, hey, if you have any damage, just let me review your policy and let Justin and his team to answer everything. Okay? All right, guys. Until then, thank you so much, everyone. And I see you next Wednesday night. Thanks a lot, Justin. Thanks,
Thanks,
Jennifer.
Alan. I appreciate it.
Thank
Have a
you.
Thank
great
you,
night.
Thank you so
Alan.
much. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank
Take
you,
care.
Alan.
Yep.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Justin.
Justin.
Thank you.
Thank you.